Okay, I thought I should try to do another P3D one just so I've done them. And I've tried to mess with my scenery to hopefully make it better. The San Diego scenery was a little bit better. I reordered some of the Orbics, pushing them down below the airports that are in there, which I think is what you were supposed to do. It seemed better over in San Diego. I still had a couple black spots, but not as bad. So I moved myself over here to Bozeman. This is Orbics, an Orbics airport. So it's part of the Orbics airport library. So I'm going to go ahead and take off and see what's going on. Looks like I got pretty good traffic out there on the roads. Active sky running. This is live weather. So I'm going to go ahead and take off here. We're running at 30 FPS locked. So 30 FPS locked. I'm not having any issues with frame rates. This is 4K. So it's full 4K. P3D is on pretty much the max settings, except I think I have the anti-aliasing on like 4xAA, I think, and I have a couple of those settings turned down. I can look at them at the end of the video here, but let me rotate, get off the ground. It's not bad, it's pretty smooth. Oh, there's a lock up. Freeze up just now. Gear up. I don't like the color differences, they're weird. It's like nice and dark over here. Then you get over to the right screen and it's all brighter. I've always had this problem with P3D, where you get these changes in the screen colors. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know if that's because active sky does kind of look like it might. I don't know. It's weird. Now it just darkened up a little bit. It looks better. Not too much though. Gears up. Flaps up. Slow this down a little bit. You know, scenery looks pretty good out here. It's not bad. Orbit scenery. A little weird over there. The tiles are different or something.
Three ahead. Pull up. 3 ahead. Pull up. Bank angle. Bank angle.
I need to listen to terrain warnings the whole time. So up in the air here, it seems like pretty nice and fluid. Like I said, I don't know what's causing that difference in color on the right screen. The left and middle seem fine. This is just view groups in P3D, so there's nothing special, but you know, it's doing something weird. Mountains look okay. Again, 4K. I have to go out of the warping mode in order to see the frames, but yeah, it looks like they're hovering right around 30. I don't really have a good CPU app on here, but if I go to the Gigabit Control Center, I think there's an app for the phone that you can put on, but you could see right now my CPU memory, or my CPU looks like it's running around 71 degrees. It's up to 75 there. I have had some like crashes out of P3D where it gives an error. When I read the error, it said that, you know, it was overtaxing the system. So I think that, you know, to be honest, P3D doesn't know how to use the hardware that we have here as good as, you know, the newer software. Actually, we already know that. P3D is largely CPU limited and doesn't use the GPU the way we'd like it to. I mean, it definitely is using the GPU to paint 3 screens at 4K, but it's not taking full advantage of the NVIDIA chipset and everything. So, at least that's what I believe. I've always known. So I don't think we're going to get the performance out of it. Although this looks really good. I mean, the clouds, the mountains look good. I don't know if I like the blueness of the mountains. But yeah, if we're running Microsoft Flight Simulator, we're getting full use of the GPU modern code. I think that it probably doesn't, I mean, I know it doesn't run as hot on 4K or 2K. I've been watching it. It's more down in the 60s, if it even gets up to that. So it seems like its CPU is running a little hotter in P3D, but we know that P3D uses a lot of CPU, so we'd expect the CPU to be heavily hit where the GPU is not hit so much in P3D. But I mean, flying around here, it looks really good. Like I said, some weird tiling out there in patches. That may be because I have the Bozeman Airport scenery loaded on top of the Orbix scenery, and maybe it causes some tiling. I don't like the color on the right being so bright like that compared to the rest. If you guys have a known fix for that, I'm all ears. But yeah, this is let me go out of warping mode and briefly look at my settings here. Get the menu, and we'll go to view graphics. So yeah, I have anti-alias set at 4x MSAA and texture filter at anisotropic 8x. Now when I pushed it up to 16x and I pushed this up to full 8x SAA, I know that on the ground I lost about 8 frames. I wasn't quite at 30, I was like at 22. So I turned those back to that. World, that's my settings right now. Lighting. Traffic. So you can see I'm doing a lot of traffic, which probably impacts the CPU pretty heavily. And scenery library, yeah, I guess these are up here by default, but I moved the rest of the Orbix insertion points down lower in the scenery library. That's for that set. Oops. Got a little fast there. Get out of the bad speed range there. What else? It's smooth. I mean, I had like a couple stops there, but it's, you know, up here in flight, it is really smooth. Aside from that right screen on the right compared to the ones, it could be that that screen might have flipped out of game mode. I have to check that. It's not easy to do while I'm flying, but I'll have to check that and see if that was the problem. These screens, for some reason, it's like you want a feature that locks them in game mode, and it may have come out of game mode. So I'll check that and report back in my text to you guys. But another quick peek at the CPU right now. It's at 61, so it's not horrible. I don't have a chiller like Mike, so I can't chill down the fan right now better. But let's come back around. I think the airport was over here somewhere. Yeah, it's over to the right. So let me just cut the speed here. And I'll come down over the airport. I don't even know what the landing direction is over here. Oops, let me get the warping back on. That's better. Warping was off. Traffic down there. Yeah, just past the airport pretty much.
Bank angle, bank angle.
Jittering there. That's Orbix Airport scenery for Bozeman, I guess. You can see it jittering a little bit. I don't know if 4K is the deal on P3D. I mean, this is usable. I think compared to what I was used to running, this is smooth enough for me. But again, I've always seen these little micro stutters in P3D on my setup, so it doesn't really bother me any. But I know, Fred, with your wide view setup, you had no stutters and said it was butter smooth. So I don't know if it's just a fact of life when you're running 3 screens off one computer. But P3D looks pretty good here. I wouldn't complain about this if we didn't have an alternative of Microsoft Flight Sim, or if it turns out that Microsoft Flight Sim is just crashing or getting too many errors, then this would be the way to go. But I mean, I'm going to have to take a look at what Bozeman looks like in stock Microsoft Flight Sim next. So anyway, later.